Okay, Mark meets Nick Constantinou, the CEO of Collective London. Hi Nick.
Hi Mark, nice to have you here.
Thanks for inviting me. Can you give us a very quick summary of your career?
Yeah, quick summary is I did a business studies and marketing degree. I then joined,
where was that?
I was at Middlesex University.
How long ago?
I'm not going to answer that, Christ away, you'll figure out my age. It was a while ago. I graduated in '96 and then I joined Deloitte and Touche, as they were known back then, and I became a qualified expatriate tax accountant for 2 years. Then I left. My mum got very upset when I left because it was a job for life, as Orson Welles would say, life and tax, death and taxes are the only thing certain in life. Then I joined IBM Consulting for 2 years, and then really, most of my career has been at AKQA, which I was there for 12 years. Joined when there were about 40, 50 people in London, and left when there were about 1,100, and did a tour of duty in San Fran, New York and London.
Cool, so now you're at Collective?
Now I'm at Collective, yeah.
How long have you been here for?
I've been here a few months. Collective's almost 10 years old next year. Honda's our founding client. We're a strategic creative agency, and we have digital heart, that's what beats inside of us. So.
And what have you come here to do? What's your kind of main objective?
To grow the agency, really. I think, Collective has some amazing talent, some amazing clients. It's about being a lot more aggressive in the marketplace and growing. So I want us to grow. I want London to be 3 times as big. I want us to be a strong, independent creative agency. And if we can get some dots on the map in New York and Berlin and other parts of the world, then that's all part of the plan. But we're here to grow. We're here to do the best work in the industry.
Do you like being the CEO?
Yes.
Did you ever see yourself being the CEO?
I think it was like... I love delivering work. I'm a project manager at heart. It's like that's how I grew up through AKQA. I delivered lots of great, brilliant work. So I still miss those days where you get down and you deliver and you put something live and it's like brilliant, it's live. But look, there's a lot of responsibility of being a CEO. I enjoy it. I'm not scared to make decisions. I enjoy working with talented people. So it's good. It's a good thing to do. Although I do miss the day-to-day sometimes. But hey ho.
What's the most embarrassing thing that's happened to you in your career?
Oh my God, only one. There's been numerous ones.
Is there one that stands out?
Yeah, I was living in San Fran, delivering the Xbox 360 console project when AKQA designed the interface for the Xbox 360 games console. We had a crazy night with a guy called Jay Allard, who was head of Xbox gaming division, basically, young, cool dude for Microsoft. He came in, we presented some interface designs, really good, backslapping, high five, US stuff, and we left San Fran. Our office in San Fran was near Little Italy, and it was a walk up quite a few hills, and he had a few drinks with us, and he saw this box van driven by a bunch of Chinese guys, and he threw like $500 in their face and said, we're all going to get in the back of that, you're going to drive us to the restaurant, which was only like a 10-minute walk away. But it was a statement. So it's a box van, no windows, it's a zip-down box van. So we all jumped into that. My creative director, Dwan Evans, who's now ECD at AKQA London, a few of our designers, a few of the clients. So we all jumped into this box van. And there's something about boys and metal spaces that become dark quickly and then you're just driving around. So it ended up being it was basically like WrestleMania. It was like Royal Rumble. So we go up this hill, blah, 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 and then they whip up the thing and the light comes in. And I've got Dwan, my ECD, who has Jay Allard in a headlock, like rubbing his head. And I've got another client up against the wall. For some reason I've got him up by the throat or something. So the light hit, and we all kind of looked at each other, and then we all kind of just let each other go and went to the restaurant. So that was quite a bizarre experience. Like, Jay Allard was like he was like Bill Gates' right-hand man, but we managed to assault him. But he was still a client, and he still loved us. So.
Fine, so you didn't lose the account?
No, we didn't. It was alright.
What's been the best account that you've worked on so far?
I've been very lucky to work on a lot of Nike stuff at AKQA. So there's been a lot of innovative Nike work that I'm very proud of. Xbox 360, that project is probably the individual highlight because I was leading that as project director to work on for 2 years with industrial designers, with a branding agency, with the client to create the next generation games console and then see it launched at E3 and then know that there are billions of households around the world using what you created is that definitely is for me, because it's not just a website; it's a product development thing that you see it on the shelves in Best Buy and Currys and stuff, and you're like, wow, I was part of that. So that's definitely been a highlight.
What's the best bit of career advice you've been given?
It came like Ajaz is amazing at AKQA, and tough to work for Ajaz, but you know that. But the standards that we held ourselves to were critical, and I think the best piece of advice for anybody really, and for agencies generally, is focus on the work and your clients, and everything else will be all right. And if you do that as an individual, if you do whether you're a copywriter, developer, account guy, delivery guy, whatever your craft is, focus on doing your bit as best as possible, and then take ownership for the whole thing. Don't just do your bit and walk away. Be part of a team and really focus on delivering great work, and then everything will be all right from a career point of view and from an agency point of view.
And for you, what's the best thing about agency life?
Diversity of work. So 1 week I can be talking about femcare, fast food, automotive, whatever it may be. And for me, it's diversity of industries, categories, business problems. I think it's amazing. I just love the challenge of thinking about different business problems in different categories.
What advice would you give people who are looking to get into the industry today?
I think for me, you've got to be hungry, you've got to be relentlessly curious, you've got to go the extra mile. I think there are lots of people, trying to get jobs out in the economy, let alone just this industry. And I think you look for talent that has energy and passion and will go the extra mile. And I think if you do that, you do it in a creative, unique way, you'll have a lot more chance of cutting through and getting the job. Whatever you do, whatever your craft school, whether you're a designer or account guy, whatever, it's about standing out from the crowd and doing that a little bit more. And I think when I hire people, I look for energy and passion, and I actually don't mind if they don't have the experience and the technical skills, because that can come with time. What you can't replace, you can't train into people, is a desire and a hunger to do great work. And that, if you see that in people, then you'll tend to get the job you want.
What advice would you give to people who are aiming at some point in their career to become a CEO?
You know what? I mean, I didn't graduate thinking, oh my God, I've got to be a CEO. For me, it's a consequence of doing good work and being conscientious. So if anybody's saying I want to be a CEO, I think you're thinking way too far ahead. Focus on the immediate term and focus on doing whatever you do it well, and it will come. That's all I can say, because I never graduated thinking, my God, I've got to be a CEO, I want the job title. For me, it's just a title. It's kind of irrelevant. I work with good people so we can deliver great work, and we will do our bit. So.
Is there anyone in particular that inspires you?
I think, actually the Olympics, it was, we kind of were all kind of looking forward to the Olympics, and it was amazing. So to seeing some of the professionalism from those athletes who aren't paid ridiculous amounts of money like footballers, to train and dedicate themselves to a once every 4 years event was amazing. I think within the industry, I've worked with some very talented people at AKQA. So Ajaz he's amazing. His depth of thought and his standards is amazing. DB, Daniel Bonner now, Chief Creative Global Officer of Razorfish, good man. Drinks on you next time. He's amazing creatively, conceptually, and presenting in front of clients. And I've worked with Guy, who's European MD of. Or now VP International at AKQA.
Tom
yeah, Tom's a nice guy. He's doing the venture stuff with WPP. So I've been very lucky to work, and those are the maybe more senior guys. But then I've worked with some amazing art directors and creative thinkers through my time, and there's some great people here at Collective as well. Adam Cleaver's our ECD. Worked with me at AKQA on Nike, super smart. So, there's just privileged to work with lots of good creative thinkers.
And going back to the Olympics, did you actually go and watch any of them?
I went to beach volleyball, which was the only ticket I got. It wasn't intentional, honest. I couldn't get any in the stadium, so I did try. And it was like a music festival. That's what I would say. It was brilliant. It was the
women's beach volleyball.
Women's. The men were there. Obviously, I was less interested in the men for good reason. But my wife was more interested in the men. So there you go. But it was like a festival. It was like they had music and they had halftime stuff. It was really, really well done. You know, it was like I was like very proud to be a Londoner. It was like, you know, it was good energy as well.
So what are the rules of beach volleyball then?
I don't know. I was too busy looking at the women's backsides, as you would imagine. So
and what was the score and who was playing?
That was Czech Republic against Brazil, which was quite a good game. And I think the Czech beat the Brazilians. It was a bit of a shock, but it was good. It was good. Yeah. 21 points to win. You got to win by 2, and yeah, again the athleticism and the effort was amazing. So.
If you could turn back the time and do something differently, what would you have done differently? I'm talking like you're retiring. I know you're not retiring.
I know. I was about to say you're putting me out to pasture already. It's like, I'm not there yet. Okay, I've got a whole other journey inside of me, and it's going to be with Collective, and we grow and do some great stuff. But what can I do?
What would you have done differently, if anything?
I think, you know what, after AKQA I joined a network. I joined McCann as MD for 18 months. I learned some stuff there, and there's some really nice people there, but it just wasn't for me. And I'm kind of glad I went because I learned that it wasn't for me, but also it reminded me that I'm an interactive guy, and I love technology, and I love creating work that people genuinely add value in people's lives and people genuinely want to use. And that was a good reminder for me. So, you know, yeah, I want to create stuff that's worth remembering, that people want to use. And that's a big part of who I am. So it kind of reminded me of that.
What are your interests outside of work? Obviously, apart from beach volleyball.
Apart from beach volleyball, I'm a gooner at heart. So I go and see them. And Wenger still amazes me. They're still hanging on in there. But we'll see what happens this season. We say it every year. And my family, I've got she's almost 3, Rose, my daughter, and I've got a 10-month-old boy called Max. So they take up a lot of my time. And I love my cars as well, so I try and spend my time on cars and stuff. I'm trying to get better at my golf, which is fucking difficult when you have no time to do it. But so yeah, you know, that kind of stuff. But a lot of family stuff. I've got some young kids. And
so if you're into your cars, and obviously you've got the Honda account here, are there any perks or benefits of having Honda?
We do get. I think a few of the guys are on a bit of a scheme with Honda where we can get the nice CRV, the tooled up CRV and stuff, and yeah, they're good cars. So yeah, I'm hoping I can take advantage of that.
The S2000 was
the S2000 was nice, yeah, and then obviously the NSX back in the day, which was these were their hero aspirational products at the moment, and you know, the tooled up CRV is probably close to that at the moment.
So are you guys still working with Wyden Kennedy, who have the account above the line, like you were working with Wyden Kennedy at AKQA?
Nike. Yeah, I was in a meeting with them yesterday actually, and so we work with Wyden, who are above the line. Karma do a bit of experiential stuff, and yeah, I mean, you know, we're a collective, so we have a very open, collaborative culture, not only in the building, but the way we work with our clients and their partners. So we're happy to work with anybody. You know, we work with AMV on the Shiba account a bit as well. So happy to work. It's about the best ideas for clients, not about land grabbing. So yeah, we're happy to do that.
And lastly, what's your favourite advertising campaign of all time?
I don't really care for advertising, so I'm not going to answer that question. What I would say is my favourite piece of work that has added most value and is the most engaging to individual are things like Nike Plus and Nike Fuel Band, where brands were brave enough to not just rely on interruptive, passive TV, print, radio advertising and move their brands on to become add real value to their audience's life. So when I see things like Fuel Band, yes, there's comms around it, but it's a product, not just a physical product, but it's a digital.
And was that more RGA or AKQA?
That was AKQA worked on that with RJ. I mean, RJ and AKQA, I'm sure we'll argue about who did what, but I've been lucky enough to work on bits on Nike Plus and Fuel Band less so directly. I didn't work on that at all, but I admire the product and what it stands for out in the marketplace because it's adding real value to people's lives rather than interrupting them with advertising.
And last, what one piece of advice do you wish you were given when you first got into the industry?
I think, you know, you always have to be willing to learn. I think that's the biggest thing. I think the pace of change in this industry, especially on the interactive side, is so intense that you have to put time aside to keep learning. You know, and it's difficult. That's probably one of the toughest challenges, not just a CEO, but anybody in the industry has, which is how do you keep up to date with the next latest and greatest thing. So putting time aside to do that consistently is really important.
And how pleased are you that you got into digital as opposed to other medias?
For me, it's just, it always felt like home to me. I think I really never had any interest. I didn't rush home on a Friday night and watch the TV adverts thinking, my God, I've got to watch that 30-second spot. For me, I've always loved technology. I'm a bit of a geek at heart. And for me, it was always about what can I create that people will genuinely enjoy using and share on social media, which is now such a buzzword. And that's the bit that excites me about digital. And now we have so many. Digital back in the day was just websites back in the early days, and now the digital footprint from brand can be anything from websites to apps to whatever it may be. And that's the exciting bit, to be able to offer advice to clients on how they should express their brand using technology is an interesting challenge. But yeah, delighted, absolutely happy to be interactive, and that's where I'll stick.
Let's move on to a quick fire round. Can line or D&AD pencil?
D&AD pencil.
Olympic gold or an Oscar?
Olympic gold.
The brightest person you've worked with?
Ajaz.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
Most creative person you've worked with?
DB, Daniel Bonner.
And the best looking person you've worked with?
That's a harsh one, isn't it? Numerous receptionists at numerous agencies, I would say. But yeah, some of the receptionists at AKQA, past and present, ladies, have been, easy on the eye, let's put it that way.
So what was receptionists that get that answer?
Yeah, I bet you that's a regular answer. Well, they are fond of house. So,
Wayne Arnold's at Ferro said exactly the same.
Oh, did he? Alright, there you go.
Creatives or suits?
Creatives.
Money or happiness?
Happiness.
Apple or Android?
Apple for now, although I'm interested in Android. And I'm an Apple geek, but I'm interested in Android.
Degree or no degree?
Degree, because it gives you something, although I think the value of them has dropped. I think being smart is more important than the qualification, but degree for now.
Art directors or copywriters?
Neither, technologist.
Good answer. Retains work or pitch work?
I like pitch work, keeps you hungry.
Web or mobile?
Mobile, because the web will still be around, but mobile first is great one.
Independent agencies or networked agencies?
You know what they are. Why are you asking me that question? Independent, without a shadow of a doubt.
Outsourced production or on-site production?
In-house, because you need to be able to craft your work to the right level. And if I had to choose between the two, I'm a control freak, and I need to make sure what we promise, we deliver to the right level.
Don Draper or Roger Sterling?
Don. Good old Don.
And lastly, twist or stick?
Twist, always.
Thank you very much.